Jen said he was doing, the Peloton, and then he had a shower and come down. But, that's a way to make an entrance. That was good.
But we also just, because are people shocked at like the dynamics of like, it's Dr. David's house, Dolores' ex.
Go ahead. Who else was there?
Frank Catania's there with Brittany. So this is not bullshit. Frank is best friends with David. And the kids are really good friends with David. The only one that wasn't there is Miss Dolores.
Yeah. Well,
do Dolores and David speak at all?
No.
What a modern listen, I'm from this. When you're from a broken home, I mean, like I'm all for
I'm from a broken home, but my mother and my father my mother and father were best friends. Really? They were best friends. I had them both over.
Well, Dolores and Frank are best friends.
Best friends. Yep, they're best friends. So
it just is interesting that Dolores doesn't speak to her ex, and her children and Frank are like, love this man.
I know. Well,
there's no shade. I think it's great.
No,
it's just for all the people that read about this, it's true. I mean, Frankie Jr. was there, Gabby and Brittany and Frank Catania.
And Frank. Well, Paulie is a bit old fashioned. Okay, we'll give him that. And I don't think he's too thrilled with Dolores being buddy with her recent ex, David's recent. You know what I mean? So listen, me and you would deal with it. But some men, like I spoke to a friend of mine, you know who he is. He's very old fashioned. He's, one of these, the big guys, big boys. He goes, I would never tolerate being with a woman and her hanging out with her ex. So this is the way probably, no, we don't think that way, but some men do. And Paulie's that way. He's old fashioned. So listen, it took him a long time to handle the Frank situation. And that's the father of her children. Never mind David. I don't think that's ever going to happen. That's never going to happen.
Are you sure the Frank situation is handled? I'm not so sure.
It's not handled. But when they were filming, they had never met before they filmed. And then, Frank was at his house with Brittany for the finale. So it's not handled, but it's handled. If you know what I mean. There's a gray area there. Yeah. So.
There's a gray area.
There's a gray area.
I don't think Paulie loves Frank Catania.
Nope.
I mean,
nope.
But yes, these kids. So like Frankie at the academy, he's working like 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
And she's a vet, so they're lovely. Brittany, should we go on to Brittany, Frank's girlfriend?
Let's go on to Brittany. So I knew that Frank was in a relationship with a beautiful girl named Brittany. And I didn't even pay attention to her picture when they were posting him up because I just didn't, you know what I mean? That's Frank and that's his personal business. And the girl wasn't on the show. I walk into the party and here comes Brittany running over to me, kissing me, hugging me. Oh my God, Kim, how are you? I'm like, no. Brittany used to work at the Moxie in Ridgewood and did my spray tans and we were besties. She was the most adorable and still is the most adorable, sweet, lovely. Can't say enough about her. I'm like, this is the Brittany? Adorable. And then I'm going to talk about the conversation I had with Frank, but let's get into Brittany first.
You didn't even put two and two together when you saw these pictures of Brittany and Frank?
I never looked really. I never really looked at them. And I said, this girl comes running over. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. She hasn't done this in a while. We're talking 6 years ago. I go, I can't. And she was always into the bodybuilding and all that. So that's probably where she met Frank. But I was like, what? And then Jen walks in, who's the owner of Moxie. I go, Brittany is, she goes, yeah, Brittany worked for us. I go, you got it. I can't believe that's the Brittany. Adorable then, adorable now.
She's another one. I mean, where do we begin, guys? You're going to meet her on the show.
Where do we begin?
She's going to be on the show. Look, I mean, why don't they just look? I mean, like, they should just make her a fucking friend of or something. I mean, she's literally drop dead gorgeous. Right?
Drop dead gorgeous. Now, I got some inside scoop. When I told Frank how I knew Brittany, he's like, I'm going to do the right thing. I go, does she know? Because he goes, yes, she knows. I'm going to do the right thing. He said, I'm cranky. I go, so am I. He goes, when I'm home, I'm cranky. I go, so am I. He goes, and she is always happy. And she's always up. And she's wonderful. And she's sweet. This. Right? And I said, I'm so proud of you, Frank. That he goes, Kim, I feel guilty being cranky because she's such a good girl. And so he goes, no, I'm going to do the right thing. And she knows it. Okay, so that's that. And then we talked a little bit about the show. He said,
Wait,
Dolores,
do the right thing. What? Like, well, you said, propose?
Well, that's what I take from it for sure.
That's what I
She's
take.
32. She's 32 years old. She wants to be married. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm going to take it. And then the second thing is
the show.
She said she has a little thin skin. She's very sensitive, which you could see that. She was shy. She sits. She's very friendly to people, but she sits in the corner. She's not like, running around. And he said, Dolores, over the summer when they were filming, is very protective of her. Very protective. So here we go. He said, Gabby wasn't too thrilled to the situation at first because of her age, but now they're besties. I mean, this is unbelievable scoop, guys.
I was right there. I heard all this. Like, this is why David's behind the velvet rope. Because guess what?
Yep.
You might all think I'm having my martini, but my ears are open, people. I heard all that. I was standing right there. And he did say, I mean, you're telling this the PG version of the story. I think this is okay to say, like, where he's like, he's like, at first, right, Gabby had a problem with it, and she's like, would you be happy if I came home and, told you I was dating a 50-year-old? And he's like, okay, fine. She's like, would you be happy if I came home and told you I was fucking a 50-year-old? And Frank was like, all right, slow it down.
Yeah. But he said, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
He said to her, whatever would make you happy. Yeah. I'm glad you did the R-rated.
I know. I mean, like, she's closer to the children's age.
Yes.
They're late 20s, right?
Right.
So, but she is, I agree with you. She sits there. She was, and look, I could tell when you're nice, but you got the darkness behind you and you're a bitch. Like, I could tell when what you're putting out is not real. That's just the skill I have. She is the real deal. Wonderful, lovely, right? Kim D has frozen. But when she unfreezes, I mean, we have a problem with her internet already.
Frozen. No, you're frozen.
Now you're unfrozen.
There you go.
But no, okay. I was saying that, like, I could tell when, like, you're nice, but really you're not nice. You're a total fucking bitch under this.
Right. That's right.
She's the real deal. She's
the real deal.
Good
She's
girl.
The real deal.
And I did hear him say that she is in a mood of, like, happiness 24/7.
All the time. Yep.
Look, so Frank gets these. How does Frank? He gets these wonderful, sweet, and she really loves him.
He said she's an old soul. He goes, because we were talking about David and I. Well, David could do a little more than me, but we like to go out early, which I've said this plenty of times. I'm at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Girls sit at the bar, have happy hour. I'd like to be home by 9:30, 10 o'clock. David's getting to that point. He's in the same boat. And Frank said, so is he. He goes, I like doing that too. So me and Frank were having this deep conversation about our lifestyle, and she's right there with him. So it's not like she's this, yappity 30-year-old wanting to run around and party. She's nowhere near that, so meanwhile, I did not drink at all because I don't know you guys. I'm never sick I've been sick since October, on and off, head colds, all that stuff. If any of you have any remedies for me on how the hell to stop this nonsense, tell me, because I'm doing everything. I'm taking antibiotic. I'm doing the immune boost. I mean, please, I was still sick, but I wasn't the contagious sick. I was sick and I went to the party. I did not drink and dropped out.